In today's episode, you'll find Elon Musk forcing Apple to break its own rules. Google taught robots to make their own decisions. Naibolt electric car with niobium batteries that charge in just 6 minutes. Wowsider is a powerful electric bicycle with a range of 320 kilometers. The most toxic robot chess player from the US and Blue Origin, which is developing photovoltaic cells made from lunar soil for US astronauts. All this and more. Right now, let's go. Elon Musk is so cool that he made Apple break its own rules. And here's the thing. Last week, the social network Twitter rebranded with a new name, X, and a new logo. However, even a few days later, the updated iOS app in the App Store had the old name Twitter and violated Apple's internal rules. According to App Store Connect requirements for developers, the name of the app on the site must contain at least 2 characters. That is, it is simply impossible to place a software product with a single letter or number as a name in the store. Then apparently, the company made an exception to the rules, as the application is now offered in the App Store under the new brand X, without any additional characters. On the other hand, the rules for publishing apps in the App Store Review Guidelines, do not have this requirement. The guidelines only state that app names must be limited to 30 characters, and there is no mention of a minimum limit. However, in practice, Apple does not allow developers to post programs with 1 character in the name. Just as importantly, the name displayed on the iOS home screen can be 1 character, but it must not be a marketing name displayed by a web store. Apple ended up making an exception for Twitter owner Elon Musk. Could this be a precedent? We at any rate don't think so, for it's hard to imagine the company would make such concessions for any other developer. Maybe we are wrong? Write your opinion about it in the comments. We will be quite interested to listen to you. British startup Naibolt has unveiled a new electric car with innovative dual battery technology that allows it to be fully charged in just 6 minutes. The Naibolt Ivy electric car is based on an extended Lotus Exige chassis with an all-new body designed by the designer of the original 1996 Elise model, Julian Thompson. The main feature of this electric car is its innovative battery technology, which promises the fastest charging of any electric car on the market. The car is equipped with a 35 kWh battery pack and has a weight of about 1 ton. It is slightly heavier than the original Elise model, but still lighter than any other production electric car. With a relatively small battery, there is enough autonomy to travel 250 kilometers on a single charge. Using a 350 kilowatts DC fast charger, the Naibolt Ivy can be fully charged in just 6 minutes. The company is commercializing research conducted at the University of Cambridge using niobium and tungsten oxides for battery anodes. This process, in which lithium ions enter the anode, has more to do with the speed of lithium ions than anything else. While 95% of the world's cars have graphite anodes with their layered structure, which has its advantages, the speed of the ions is limited. The company is developing anode materials that provide speeds 100 times faster. Engineers from the United States have created a chess-playing robot with a somewhat nasty character. It taunts its opponent. Every time this robot named Tin Man wins, it taunts its opponent. The robot gets victories almost all the time, which makes him difficult to communicate with. Each time he comes up with a new mocking comment using ChatGPT. The robot itself is based on a mini PC and has a manipulator that determines the position of the pieces using sensors located under the board. There is also a bright LED strip on the board that shows a human when the robot has finished its move and when a piece can be picked up. Each move is analyzed by algorithms, and the difficulty of the games can be adjusted. However, winning against this robot is not so easy. It only specializes in creating insults and taunts. The Raspberry Pi website published detailed instructions so advanced users can try to assemble such a toxic chess player at home with their own hands. Google's in-house DeepMind team has unveiled an updated model for vision, language, and action in robotics. It's a second-generation transformer. This model makes it much easier for robots to learn. It allows machines to reason and analyze available data to solve unknown problems. Previously, even basic tasks, such as garbage collection, required a robot to be trained in stages. First, it had to learn how to determine what counted as garbage. and then it had to be told how to collect it and where to throw it away. With a new model like RD2, robots are able to use previously learned data to solve new problems. No longer does the robot need to explain in detail what garbage is. It analyzes on its own which objects are better suited to achieve a goal. DeepMind noted that this robot model was trained using RT1 and more than 700 tasks. Its database included 130,000 demonstrations. This allowed the robot to successfully complete the tasks 97% of the time. With RT2 results, even better performance is expected as the model was trained on web and robotics data. It combines advances in big language models such as Google's BART and OpenAI's GPT. DeepMind staff conducted a series of qualitative and quantitative experiments on RT2's models. With more than 6,000 robot trials, they demonstrated that each task required an understanding of visual semantic concepts and the robot's ability to cope with them. For example, in each scenario, the robot was able to pick up a bag that might have fallen off a table. The researchers observed more than a threefold improvement in generalization performance over previous performance. Using the RT2 model also improved the robot's task performance in previously unseen scenarios from 32% to 62% compared to its peers. The WAU Cyberbike has been unveiled at Indigo, which the creators claim is the best in the history of electric bicycles. They claim that the novelty has unprecedented performance and power, which should change people's perception towards two-wheeled transportation. DWAU Cider is often compared with the electric pickup Cybertruck from Tesla. The creators promise to introduce 3 modifications with 250, 750, and 5,000 watt motors. The maximum speed, depending on the configuration, can reach from 24 to 89 kilometers per h. On a single charge, the bike will be able to travel up to 320 kilometers. In addition, the manufacturer has provided a hot swap function for the battery. Among the additional features of the electric bike, a compartment for things with a volume of 8 liters, GPS tracking system, wheel lock function, and built-in screen. The most powerful version of the bike will cost from $2,999. Pre-orders are scheduled to start taking in February next year. U.S. Space Agency NASA has selected 11 private companies to develop key technologies for long-term stays on the moon and in space. From energy extraction on the satellite's surface to 3D printing equipment in weightlessness, the Type Pinpoint project, which involves developing the necessary technologies for long-term research missions on the moon, is based on joint funding from NASA and industrial partners. NASA's contribution to the project is expected to be $150 million. Each company will contribute a minimum share of 10–25% depending on size. Major partners in the project include military industrial company Lockheed Martin, which will test docking equipment in space. United Launch Alliance will continue to develop an inflatable heat shield to return large rocket components from orbit to Earth. Blue Origin is also involved in the project, utilizing local resources to produce solar cells and wires to electrify the lunar base. Important to Blue Origin is the Blue Alchemist project, which the company has been working on since 2021. Its goal is to create a complete process for producing finished photovoltaic cells from rigolite. Currently, the company's scientists and engineers are using a material close in composition and structure to rigolite as a test raw material. During production, the raw material is heated to 1600 degrees Celsius and subjected to electrolysis and other methods to remove excess elements. All these processes can be performed under lunar conditions. After checking out the Motorola Razr Plus, or Razr 40 Ultra, YouTube channel Jerry Everything took a closer look at the design of this foldable smartphone. Upon disassembly, it became clear that it has a lot in common with Samsung devices. However, the difficulties with disassembling the Motorola Razr Plus start from the very beginning. The first thing to disassemble is to somehow detach the glass panel with the external screen from the case. The blogger already had the glass broken after previous tests, but there's a good chance it could be further damaged during disassembly. After that, you should slowly and step by step unscrew the screws and disconnect the loops. Another difficulty in repairing the smartphone can be the replacement of batteries. Motorola Razr Plus has 2 batteries, one tiny at 835 mAh and another larger at 2,850 mAh. In both cases, the manufacturer has not provided easy ways to remove them, as they are simply glued to the case. The blogger used alcohol to loosen the effect of the glue. The video also clearly demonstrates the internal screen, which is covered with thin, flexible glass. At the very end, the blogger got to the hinge mechanism that allows you to fold the smartphone and fix it in different positions. He noted that this mechanism is very similar to the one that Samsung uses in its devices. The blogger suggested that the South Korean company helps other manufacturers to create foldable smartphones, thereby increasing sales of its flexible AMOLED panels.